My mom taught me to sell at a spaza shop. She ran a hair salon. I pretty much learned entrepreneurship from my mom's.
Umntu ngumntu ngabantu. That on your own, you can't really do it. You need the support of those around you.
You will have a network of people, a network of communities, and a society that will make sure that you count.
Hello, it's time for SAITA StraightTalk. Thank you for joining us here on the SAITA Media Facebook channel and on our SAITA Media YouTube channel. As usual, we welcome you because we're going to be talking about things that are pertinent to the informal sector, their families and their communities at large. Do remember that the SAITA StraightTalk series is powered by the South African Informal Traders Alliance, the official voice of the informal sector in South Africa, whose simple and only aim is to unite the sector with one sector and one voice. With every episode of SAITA StraightTalk, I promise you that we talk about issues that really make a difference in our lives. And in order to make that difference, I always promise you that we have specialist panelists. Tonight, again, no exception. I would like to introduce to you Johan Vermaak. Johan, good evening and very welcome to the SAITA StraightTalk studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Johan, give us a little background of, because, you know, we're in the back to school season. We know that that schools across the country, the inland schools have opened today. Next week, it's time for the coastal regions to go back to school. You play in a slightly different market in terms of the education system. So please give our viewers a little bit of insight as to what your area of speciality is.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. I work for the Department of Higher Education. Now, when you say higher education, it means that we are concentrating on education for people older than the age of 16, adult education. Initially, when the community learning centers were established, the idea was to assist people that never had the opportunity to complete their schooling due to the political process or political to the political with the National Party with apartheid. Thank you. So I apologize for this.
No, don't you?
And in the process, what actually happened was that many people never finished their schooling due to the social ills of apartheid, where they actually had to leave school to actually put bread on the table for their families. So many of them never completed their schooling. So the community learning centers were established to assist these people that never completed their schooling to complete their schooling. Since then, a new phenomenon has come forward, and this is the high dropout figure of students in schools.
Yeah.
There's a there's a 50% dropout figure. So there's a tremendous amount of young people that don't have formal basic education. And many times when they come to their senses, if I may say, I use that word, they then they can come to our centers. They are no longer welcome in the mainstream because of age and various other factors. So the Department of Higher Education offer, through the community learning centers, offer them the opportunity to finish their schooling. Firstly, there's a program a program that we call Adult Education and Training Level 4, which is equivalent to grade 9. When they finish this level 4 qualification, they do have access to the TVET colleges. Or if they don't want to go to the TVET colleges, they are welcome to do an adult matric. For that, they have to be 21 years or older,
Yeah.
because it is adult education. And then, secondly, um, they must at least have a grade 9 qualification or an equivalent qualification, of which the one that we offer, the AET level 4, is also acceptable for the Department of Education. So they then have the
So
opportunity
Johan,
to.
I just want to, sorry, I just want to interject here. I just want to interject here because it's important for me to understand the process. Also because I have to represent the informal sector here and ask the questions that are relevant. So you're saying, I know you're based in the Western Cape, but these centres are located across the country if they are part of the Department of Higher Education. How do parents find out about this? Does that mean that right now, if I'm sitting with a child that has passed grade 9, that really doesn't see his or her way through the proper schooling, the academic schooling system, what does your center, what does it make different to what the academic curriculum is like in the mainstream school?
No, the academic curriculum is exactly the same as the mainstream schools. It is just when they're no longer welcome in the mainstream schools due to age, or sometimes they've been, because of behavioral problems, they no longer welcome in the mainstream schools. They
Yeah.
can come to us, and then the average age of students currently at my center, which is in Delft, is between the ages of 16 and 23. So, and then you also have the odd older people also finishing their matric, even older people coming to do their grade 9 or the level 4, as we call it.
Yeah.
So it offers it actually offers a last opportunity to many people to get a proper academic education that will allow them to go to TVET colleges, or even to universities or colleges after matric.
Johan, you're probably the wrong person to be asking this, but I do have to ask, particularly because you're saying to me that exactly the same curriculum is being offered that is in the mainstream school is being offered there, and I'm married to a teacher, so I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for what happens in the public schooling system. But I was also at school once upon a time, and I know that a lot of the kids who suffered academically at school and then became behavioral problems are not only kids who have troubled lives, but they are also kids who just isn't stimulated by learning from a book. Is there not an opportunity for your centers, for example, to have a little bit more of a practical slant for the kid that struggles to read, write, and count?
This is an issue that has been on the table for many years, and uh, I can report that there is a paradigm shift with regards to just academic training.
Wow.
Um, the department, together with the various SAITAs, of which there are 22 SAITAs in the country, so the SAITAs are mainly the funders of skills programs. It was introduced last year at certain centers, and it is a process that will be rolled out in the next couple of years. So it's not something that's going to be in place right now all over the country, but it is a very high priority uh, process and program It's really receiving a lot of attention at this stage, because we're sitting with a problem in South Africa that we need artisans. We need people that can physically do the job. We don't always need academically trained people, although it does help them when they want to become entrepreneurs or go in certain do their own business. But there are people that are just not able, and they're not willing. Their mindset is not that they want to do the normal academic courses. So there is a very big emphasis now on changing that, or offering more skills courses, and we will see accredited skills courses coming to the fore as well. The SAITAs only fund accredited courses, so
Yeah.
it will be qualifications, whether it's a short course or a longer course, where they will have a certificate that they can produce to a potential employer.
You know,
So
it's been it's been
definitely
it's
on
been
the
such
path.
it's been such an exciting week, because on Tuesday evening, um, uh, this very program centered around early childhood development, and now tonight we're talking about higher education, really. And what was interesting is that we learned on Tuesday evening that from the 1st of April, um, ECD centers now form part of the Department of Basic Education, which can be exciting and it can be scary, because it all depends on the curriculum, which also means that we need a paradigm shift in terms of what we're teaching our kids, which ultimately means that if you get it right, or if that paradigm shift is implemented quicker into higher education, it does leave a person to be almost optimistic about what's currently happening in our education system. I mean, in the week, I've seen newspaper reports where a lot of high-profile organizations and people are suddenly putting pressure on government to say, we are not happy to accept that in the public schooling system, our kids don't need to know 70% of the work because you've decided that only 30% is necessary for a pass. What do you say to something like that?
Yeah, I'm very concerned. It is a concern all over that a lot of the subjects and the requirements to pass a subject has been watered down. My personal view is that 30%, if you know 30% of the curriculum, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
So, and that is why there are so many critics uh, on the school system. People are just very critical of how the school system is currently managed. And I think I must tread lightly here. But
Yes, I'm sure you would have to.
yeah, but on the other hand, our pass rate for our level 4 again is for our core subjects is 50%. So I think at the Department of Higher Education, we feel the need, and even if you look at the requirements at university, 30% is just not acceptable there.
Yeah.
We can't train people to enter the employment market, and they don't have proper knowledge. I think at higher education, it is a bit different. We acknowledge the fact that people need to be trained properly.
So you're really saying to me, statistically, the quality of the pass coming out of your centers is a slightly better pass than is expected from what is currently happening in mainstream schooling. Do you see that that kids that pass through your system, does that mean then that you also see that they find jobs easier than the rest? Or do you see that there's a better inclination from the kids that come through you, or let me not say kids, the young people that come through yours to start their own businesses, to become informal traders, to start hustling to put a bread on the table?
Um, In our subject choices, or as we call it, learning area choices, we have different streams. You just spoke about ECD. We at the West Bank Center last year, there was a huge demand from the community of West Bank, where they wanted to have ECD and ancillary health training. So they had the choice to combine that with the core subjects, which is a language, life orientation, and mathematics. So they added the ECD and the ancillary health learning area or subject to their course. It is an NQF1 qualification that they achieve there, and it does allow them to go to the TVET colleges to further their ECD qualifications. Then we also have the business stream where we have small, medium, and micro enterprises. We have economic management sciences. And then we have a relative new learning area, wholesale and retail, that we offer together with the core subjects. So when they come to our centers, I think they will be better equipped to go into the job market, and we are really encouraging them to become entrepreneurs, and that is why we offer these hands-on subjects where they are really trained how to write a business plan. Even in ECD, they are taught to write a business plan. It's part of the curriculum. Because we need to create job opportunities. And in order for us to create job opportunities, we need to create entrepreneurs. That is very, very important. I just sometimes feel that the support after having an academic qualification, that there's not enough support for potential entrepreneurs. They maybe need a couple of rand and it's just not available to them. There is also, from the Department of Higher Education, there won't be any assistance there. But I'm aware of various organizations that are offering hands-on entrepreneurs courses and encourage people and actually give them the tools to become entrepreneurs. And especially in the informal sector, but I am, I'm especially, I feel that people that succeed in the informal sector should formalize their businesses and grow their businesses, so that they become part of the mainstream and use the mainstream opportunities so that they can also get contracts from government, and really be part of the economic cake that is available to the citizens of South Africa.
Yeah, and you see, that is where a movement like SAITA becomes critical, because we are the representatives of every informal trader via each association in the municipalities. And through our SAITA membership, you are really accessing opportunities to equip yourself with entrepreneurial skills. And also there's an offering for us to assist you with gaining the funding, looking at your business ideas, seeing how we can scale it up, and then literally going the route of the informal into formalization. SAITA has taken on the bold task to say to ourselves and to the informal market that by 2023, through the informal sector, we endeavor to create 1 million jobs. So that already doesn't, it seems like a big number, but if you think about it, with the amount of traders that we currently have in our country, we're basically saying if we equip our traders and you put the skills into kids that needs to come into the job market, then it means every trader can employ one of the kids that come out of the schooling system, and then you have created 1 million jobs. So it seems like an easy sum to make, But it's the one thing that we know and have seen over and over again, that all it takes is a little bit of political will. But I think you've hit the nail for me, and that is that you have realized, or your team in your colleges have realized, that something needs to change in terms of the offering to our kids versus what the world needs. So just the mere fact that you're going more the skills direction as opposed to only the academic direction really, really warms my heart. And I know, just remind me again, how many of your types of colleges did you say is in the Western Cape?
67.
Wow. And other provinces, do you
In
have an idea?
other provinces, if you go to KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, there's even more. Each in each and every province, there is a community education and training college. And under this college, you will have a number of community learning centers.
Okay.
And then the centers also have satellites. And these centers and satellites are placed strategically in the community. It does not, they don't have to travel very far. It is available. Currently, um, the department mostly make use of mainstream schools and their facilities. So,
Okay.
in many cases, you will find that these classes are evening classes where they utilize the facilities of a school in the area. We
Mm-hmm.
do have full-time centers as well. And the idea of the community and learning center, of the community learning centers, or the community education and training sector, is to have their own infrastructure. Because if you have your own infrastructure, they will be able to equip it with workshops and things like that. So currently, they make do mostly with the infrastructure provided by the schools. Um, and it's just a matter of going onto the Department of Higher Education website, go to the Community Education and Training Sector, CET sector, and then they will see where the different, or they will get the contact information of all the colleges in the 9 provinces, and those colleges can then refer them to a community learning center in the area where they are.
And
Um,
does it extend as far as our rural areas also?
oh yes, yes, that's very good. It's mainly if you go to the rural areas, you will find that there's more older people becoming that are part of the process. And if I may say, some of the skills courses that was rolled out last year in the Western Cape specifically concentrated on the farming community of the rural areas, where they were given specific farming skills through a program that was actually funded by the Unemployment Insurance Fund. So there's a very big emphasis there. If I just may come back and add to what you said previously, you're talking about the number of informal traders that you have. My question, and I know I'm not supposed to ask questions here,
I was
but my
about to say.
but my question here is, how many of those people that are currently informal traders, an entrepreneur in its own right, do have some academic knowledge on how to manage their business, maybe basic accounting? So I want to challenge you guys tonight to send the people to our colleges so that we can equip them with this knowledge. Because on an NKF1 level, through subjects like SMME and economic management sciences and wholesale and retail, we can teach them to write a basic business plan. We can teach them basic accounting skills, uh, together with some management skills and entrepreneurial skills. So I think it's time that we reach out to each other and take hands.
There's definitely an opportunity for collaboration, and that is definitely one of the biggest pillars that SAITA endeavors, and that is to make sure that we equip our traders with what they need in order to be able to grow their businesses. So there's certainly an opportunity for us to work together. I do want to ask you now, we're at the beginning of the year. Does enrollment at your facility work exactly the same as with mainstream schools? So can you sit here tonight and say to me, we are full? Or are you able to say to us, we can accept enrollments up until February? How does that work?
Now we don't really have a online registration system. We invite the potential students to come to our center. Some students already enrolled at the end of the academic year, last year of the previous academic year. But when the centers reopen on the 19th, these students can go to the different learning centers. They will be expected to bring a certified copy of their ID, proof of address, and then, where possible, also proof of the highest grade that they passed, an old report or a letter from a school stating. They will then write a placement test. This placement test will give us an idea of their maths capabilities and their language proficiency. So that we just have an idea where to place them, because not all students are placed at level 4. We sometimes find that there's absolutely no foundation, and we have levels 1, 2, and 3 as well, to introduce them and to assist them to build a proper foundation so that they can go to level 4 fully equipped and then carry on to the TVET colleges. So that is the process. As I say, certified copy of their IDs, proof of address, and where possible, previous report, or just a letter stating what their last, where they went to school, what their last school grade was, and they can go to any center. They will be welcomed with open arms.
Just to remind our viewers again about the contact details, especially for our viewers that are in the greater country. So you said you are situated in all 9 provinces. It is metropolitan, it is rural as well. So nobody is really excluded. You have to have a minimum of grade 9, and there should be a reason why you have been excluded from the mainstream schooling system. Is that, have I got that right?
Can we just take a step here? Remember, the AAT level 4 is equivalent to grade 9. So if you're 16 years or older and you only achieved a grade 5 or a grade 6 or 7 or 8, we will welcome you, and we will then place you according to the placement test in one of our levels, of which the highest level is level 4, which is an equivalent to grade 9. If they want to do the adult matric or the senior certificate matric, as it is also called, the schools have a national senior certificate. The adult matric is senior certificate. They must at least have a qualification equivalent to grade 9. So grade 9 or a AET level 4, and they must be older than 21 years.
Okay,
so
wonderful.
For the level 4, preferably 16 years old, with a valid ID, because please remember that we write national exams.
Yeah.
And national exams, to have acceptance to national exams, you need a South African ID.
Okay. And then you mentioned the website earlier. If our viewers want to go and listen or read up some more before they make this decision, it might be somebody that dropped out already and now realizes that, wow, there's another opportunity.
On the Department of Higher Education, the Department of Higher Education have 3 sectors. They have the universities, They have the TVET colleges, and they have the CET, Community Education and Training sector. So they must go and read about the CET sector. The information of all 9 colleges are there. The contact information is available on the website. I can give the Western Cape contact details tonight, but then I feel guilty then we're excluding some other people, but I'm situated in the Western Cape. So it's all on the DHET website. And there they will get all the information. If they found the college in whichever province, they will be guided to a community learning center in the area, because these centers are situated all over the country, and there's thousands of students.
Johan Vermaak, thank you for a very, very enlightening discussion. I'm sure that our viewers are going to take tremendous knowledge out of there, and for me, really, really some serious hope, because it's great to know that there are second chances, that for whatever the reasons are that you didn't make it through the mainstream school, there are community education and training centers. So thank you very much for your time this evening, and thank you for sharing all your knowledge with us. It's been a real privilege to have an interview with you on SAITA Straight Talk.
Thank you so much. Good night.
And that is our story for this evening. If you need more information around the CETs, please make sure you go to the Department of Higher Education website. We will also put the details of the website in our comment section just under the video this evening. So also make sure that you tell, if you know of anybody that is 16 years or older, no longer going to school, tell them there's an opportunity. If you're older than 21 and you want to do your matric, you have a second chance. So make sure you take advantage of all the opportunities that are offered to you. My name is Louise, and it's my privilege to say thank you for joining us. Good night.